Greetings and salutations, Second Star right, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, I want to talk about another hero that doesn't get a lot of play. We did Zelata before, we looked at Perforator, two champions that might not be the best or top tier in their slot, but have their uses. You know, they're not horrible. You can build them in such a way as to make them useful. So today I want to talk about another one that falls in that category. Not great, not the best, but a rare. And if you have them and you're stuck in a certain location, this person might be able to help. This champion might be able to help you out. I'm talking about specifically Crimson Slayer and how she seems to have been created in a lab for the Fire Knight. Okay, so let's look at Crimson Slayer right quick, shall we? Hang on, I'm gonna pause real quick. Alright, as I was saying, Crimson Slayer here has a very awesome skill set for the Fire Knight. So, think about the Fire Knight. You want a multi-hit A1. You want to manipulate his turn meter, slow him down as much as you can. And you want to stop him from healing every turn. Those are the three main things. There's some other things that you want to do also. Maybe you want to cleanse yourself or whatever. But these are the three main things that the Fire Knight does, the mechanics that he has that are a pain in the butt. And here's Crimson Slayer's kit. Multi-hit A1, attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has the 30% chance of placing a sleep debuff for one turn. You can book that up to 50%. We'll get into the books later. But you can book that up to 50%. Again, it has no effect on the boss, obviously, but to get to the waves, to get there, it can be helpful. Flowing Sword attacks one enemy, has a 70% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 50%. Fills the champion's turn meter equal to the amount the target loses. Okay, so the good and bad in this, and there's a caveat also. The good is you can get this up to 100% chance to land. The bad is that it's only 50%. And so, if you're autoing, and I always talk about, whenever I'm building a champion, I'm thinking about how they're going to do this on auto. If they get it at 90% of the Fire Knight's turn meter, then it goes down to 45%, and then it adds 45% to you. That's not bad. But if they only has 10% of their turn meter, then you only get 5% back, and he loses 5%. Not a very good trade-off. But also, you don't have to worry about it because it doesn't work. I've run this countless times, and not once has she used her A2 against the Fire Knight. I don't know. I guess it's a bug. Hopefully they will look at it. I will report it if it hasn't been reported already, and we will see if in the future that gets fixed. Right now, it doesn't work. So this guide is kind of with an eye to the future, shall we say. The A3, Copious Bleed, attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance of placing a 50% heal reduction debuff for one turn. Okay, again, the good, you can get that up to 100% with books. The bad, it's only 50%. So the best I can run right now with my gear is Fire Knight 14. And that still only reduces his healing by 21,000. So he still heals for 21,000. It's something that you can overcome, you know, with enough DPS. But it'd be nice if that was 100% heal instead of 50% heal reduction. So the aura is nothing to write about. It's just faction trip, 17% ally attack. Not a big deal. So that's her skill set, and it aligns almost ideally with the Fire Knight. The only way that she could be better is if the Bring Silence didn't sleep and instead it like removed a debuff or something. But then maybe that'd be OP, and we're going into more epic territory. And again, same thing with the A2 and A3. If it was 100% reductions, this would be more like an epic character than just a rare. So there's the trade-off. This champion's very easy to get. I want to say easy to book because they're a rare, but she's not easy to book. She takes way too many books. This is just a blatant resource grab. Look at this: 6 books on for for skill 1, 6 books for skill 2, and 7 books for skill 3. That's ridiculous. I wanted to fully max out this champion to get a better read on how well this rare performs, with totally maxed out abilities. But I just can't bring myself to do it. I just can't bring myself to put the books in here And I don't even know if I have enough. And I've been playing for months. There's just it gives me agita. I'm actually getting like a bit of a migraine thinking about it. But that's okay. So we're gonna lose out a little bit on the champion's maximum capabilities because I just don't have the resources. I wish I did. I do not. All right. I will do another pause here to rest my voice. All right. The Masteries I have chosen because I know that I'm pretty much only going to be using this champion on Fire Knight, and I know what team I'm going to be using, and I know what gear I have on her, so I chose Masteries accordingly. It's kind of luxury that might not always have, but in this case, it works out. So she's not in lifesteal. She's in basic glass cannon gear. So I went with Grim Resolve to take advantage of how low she'll be at hit points often, right? Life Drinker, and Stoke to Fury, another one that people generally don't take, but I know that there's no debuff remover on the team, so we're going with this. And as far as the main damage one, I chose Giant Slayer because I tried Flawless Execution also, and it doesn't work as well. Flawless Execution with this build in the way that her skills are set up, because I haven't booked all of them, this does 50 to 60, 70,000 less damage per boss fight. So I reset everything and went back to Giant Slayer. It's possible that after she's fully booked, this might become more viable, but just currently doesn't work as well. In the support tree, I took, of course, all the accuracy ones. I want to land those 2 debuffs at the end, the turn meter reduction and the heal reduction. So I took the skills accordingly. And you lose out a little bit because a lot of these, her A1 puts out sleeps, and I can't extend those with the Sniper or Master Hexer, but I felt like I had to take them to make sure that the other 2 landed. So not getting the full benefit of those skills with my skill complement on this particular champion, but what are you going to do? Alright, and her gear, again, nothing to really write home about. Very, very basic. I have a Cruel set, an Accuracy set, and a Divine Crit Rate set. It's just what I had laying around. And I tried to, where I could, derive benefit from a good piece and upgrading it with enchantments. I would do so. I'm not completely done, but it serves its purpose. As you can see, nothing astounding. The total stats are fine, right? The important ones over here, 82% crit, 109 crit damage. Ideally, those would be higher, but I'm working with what I got here. Debuff resistance, 82, and accuracy, 136. So really good accuracy for this particular level. And again, this is just Fire Knight 14. That's as high as I can do right now. Speed of 124. I made her slow on purpose. She originally had speed boots, and she was going way too fast. When you have sleep as your main debuff on your A1, the next person who attacks, if they have an AoE or whatever, is just going to wake up your target. So I made her slow down a little bit to minimize that happening and just to take advantage of the crowd control when I could. So rather than these being speed boots, they are hit point boots, which works out for her because, again, glass cannon. Alright, let's take a 200% stroll through Fire Knight real quick and see how Crimson Slayer carries herself. And when I say carries herself, I don't mean carries herself, because she doesn't. She mostly gets carried by the rest of the team. But, that's what a team comp is, though, right? So I have Tyrell, and actually, if you notice, I autoed through this unkillable guy because the AI is so moronic that I didn't want the AI head blowing all of the cooldowns on this guy who is unkillable, because that would drive me crazy. So I manualed through that part of it. But regardless, look at the team real quick. Tyrell is leading defense aura, turn meter reduction, attack down, defense down. Tyrell is amazing. Use him everywhere if you have him. Coldheart, of course, heal reduction and turn meter reduction on her A1, which is a 4-hit A1, which is amazing for Fire Knight. Heartseeker does a tremendous amount of damage when his shield is down and disrupts his turn meter, drains his turn meter. She's fantastic in so many dungeons, but especially this one. And Crimson Slayer is my third DPS, and Apothecary is Crimson Slayer's personal healer. I guess that's pretty much how it ends up, because everyone else is in lifesteal. All right, and it takes a while to get going because the AI decides that they want to use cooldowns against the shield, because I guess a $500 million company doesn't want to put in a line of code that says, if shield equals 1, like, binary, 1 is on, 0 is off. If shield equals 1, then, don't use cooldowns. I don't know. I guess maybe that's more difficult than my brain perceives it to be, but that seems to be what we're trying to work with here. So, yeah, it's just several minutes of trying to get in sync with counterattack, setting up, draining the charges on the shield, and then actually using skills to attack the boss and try to minimize his turn meter and apply the heals. Manual, this is so easy. On auto, it's a little bit more difficult. And complicating matters, again, like I mentioned before, Crimson Slayer does not use her turn meter reduction skill against the boss for whatever reason. I don't know why. She only uses her A1 or her A3, and of course she uses her A3 when the shield is up, which renders it completely ineffective, which is really irritating. I don't know if I can say that enough times. How many times can we say it? Let's make a drinking game. Well, everyone line up shots, okay? And then whenever I complain about the AI on the Fire Knight, everyone takes a drink, and then we'll call the hospital when the video is over for alcohol poisoning. Oh, she landed a Heartseeker, and that was nice. But we haven't landed a heal, so he healed for 42,000. See, the Skull Crusher also has a heal reducer on his A1. It's 50%, and he hardly ever lands that too. I don't know. Yeah, he missed it there too. Well, I guess that's good because Coldheart has hers up there, so it probably would have overwritten it. We wouldn't want that. Now there's Heartseeker into the shield again. Ugh. Drink. Take a shot. Alright. Things are winding down. Alright, Tyrell, thank you for landing that killing blow. Okay, so as you can see, Tyrell did the most damage. He has an affinity advantage, so that was probably going to happen. But Crimson Slayer outdamaged Coldheart. Okay, again, it's auto, and she slammed her big damage dealer into a shield probably 60-75% of the time. Apothecary laid the heals down. Look at that, 224,000 in healing. Most of that probably going to Crimson Slayer. And Skull Crusher doing his thing. So, as you can see, outside of Tyrell, she beat Coldheart in DPS. Granted, my Coldheart is not maximized. She's 6 stars, but she was one of my early 6 stars. And I haven't upgraded her gear at all, outside of her helmet. The other day I was looking at her and she had a 2-star helmet on, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Coldheart, I have failed you. But so I changed her helmet, but she still could use complete regearing, and I should probably do that. My Dark Elves have no accessories, unfortunately, really bad accessories, so I need to work on that. But back to Crimson Slayer. She came in number 2 in DPS, and the only reason that she came in number 2 was because of the affinity advantage that Tyrell is enjoying. So, it's not bad, right? I mean, she's usable. A rare that has unique application in the Fire Knight. So if you're having trouble with Fire Knight, if you don't have a Coldheart, you can try to slot in Crimson Slayer instead, temporarily, of course, until you get the much more worthwhile hero, but there's plenty of people who've been playing for months that don't have a cold heart. Just void rares are sometimes iffy. You know, RNG has to bless you. There's a lot of I don't have a reliquary tender yet. I would really like one of those, but not yet. All right. Anyway, point is, RNG is a thing that we all have to deal with, and if we don't have a one champion, we have to find another champion to use in its place. And so, is this a viable replacement for, say, Cold Heart against the Fire Knight? No. Quite frankly, no, because it's not a full turn meter reduction. There's no huge, max enemy HP damage dealer, and it's only 50% heal reduction. So, no, not completely. But will it get you over the hump early on? I mean, this is not an endgame champion. I mean, we can all tell that by looking at her. But will she get you over, say, Fire Knight 14? Yeah, if you're stuck there. There's people, thousands upon thousands of people play this game, and they're all going to have different needs, wants, desires, problems, obstacles to overcome. So this is just one way to do it. I like the way that Plarium looked at the Fire Knight, said, okay, these are the mechanics. Let's create a champion that can address that, early on as a rare. I think that's a great idea, and I'm glad that they did it. Am I glad that it takes 20 plus books to fully max the skills? No, that drives me crazy. When you should not have to invest so many rare resources into a single champion, when you have hundreds of champions that you could potentially be working on, and no reliable way to get books every week, every day, every whatever. There's no reliable way to do it. That's a problem. Okay, and I'm hitting a wall with that, and I'm getting kind of frustrated because there's so many things I want to do, and I just can't. I can't do it because the books don't exist. It's okay. Serenity now. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I hope that this helped you out. If you're looking at Crimson Slayer and wanted to see what the potential was at 6 stars, there you go. Not endgame, but fun. Not a replacement for Cold Heart, but does have a niche role that she can play. So if you have any comments, please do so down below. Let me know what your thoughts are and your opinions, and throw me a like if you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe if you want to see more of this. All right, thank you so much. Take care. See you next time.